Right, do you want to talk about Strictly Come Dancing then?
Do you know what I do? Because this is not going away, is it? This is the glitter is very definitely off the glitter ball right now. Because it's been running now for a week, but in today's papers, there's the third man coming to the mix, and there's a guy called James Jordan. Remember him?
Yeah.
And he's not been accused of anything in particular, other than he's alleged to have said to a contestant, one of his partners, whose name I can't remember, Georgina Buzova. He said to her, if you don't do what I'm telling you to do, I'll drag you across the floor. And he said, I don't care how much pain you're in. Unless you've got a broken rib, I'm not interested. Get on with it. So what we're hearing now is that, this is all this lovely show we see every week that's supposed to be a family show, and we're all thinking this is lovely. What's going on behind the scenes is allegedly hellish. I
would say James Jordan's come out and defended himself on this, and he said the clip that in which you've just quoted him, Carole, he was joking, and they actually showed it on the It Takes Two programme, where they were joking about what a taskmaster he is. So he's slightly resenting the fact that he's been dragged into these other complaints from Amanda Robinson and Giovanni Pierce.
What gets me about the whole thing is that a lot of the people who are coming out, a lot of the women who are now coming out of the woodwork, are coming out and saying what happened to them, and because they were so scared. And what strikes me is, the BBC knew about some of these complaints because they actually twice had to give a warning to the guy Graziano. They knew all this was going on, and they just didn't do anything. And now these people are speaking out, and we hear that they seem to care, the BBC, more about ratings than they do about what's happening to their dancers, which is outrageous. But the show makes them a lot of money; they don't want to damage it. However, the BBC have got to ask themselves why so many women. It's just women, mind you, that make a thing, not men, were too scared to complain.
Yeah.
And that... Go on.
Sorry, I thought you'd finished. Apologies.
Well, no, darling, you're presenting. You can interrupt me any time you want.
Jonathan,
don't tell her that. Don't say that, Michael.
I was just going to say the BBC's not got a good track record when it comes to standing by whilst scandal is brewing under its watch.
What are you referring to?
Well, I won't go into detail. I mean, there's a few examples, but...
The Jimmy Savile one, famous.
Oh, I see.
There is a history, isn't there?
And Martin Bashir?
Look, I've never actually watched Strictly before, but obviously we know that with television, it's not what you see on television is not always real. And behind the scenes, all kinds of things can be going on. Obviously, behind this particular television program, everyone is super friendly and pleasant, obviously. But the television is artifice, and there are, as with all workplaces, there are nice people who work in television, and there are nasty people who work in television.
Yes, but brutality against women and verbal and physical.
It's not acceptable. Of course, it's not acceptable, and there's a huge issue with it in the entertainment industry, in all forms. We look at what happened to Harvey Weinstein Me Too movement.
It feels a bit like that, actually.
With women, yeah, right. So I think that the problem that we have at the moment is that while sexual harassment in particular has now been brought so clearly to people's attentions as a result of Me Too, I think that workplace bullying is the one aspect that hasn't had its kind of Me Too movement. And you have a lot of... I hear so many stories of people in politics, in showbiz, who are notoriously awful to work with or for, and people say, don't work for that guy. Not that he's not necessarily going to touch you up, but he's going to bully you and make you feel small.
But, when you... Back to Strictly, Amanda Abingdon, who was the actress who first complained, and she complained about... he's called Giovanni Panisse. Yeah. She complained... And at the time, she was made to sound like some idiot, hysterical woman who was just making a fuss over nothing. And she had the guts to go to her top lawyers and say, investigate these claims, get my videos from practice, and you have a look. And this lawyer, was Carter, who went to the BBC with these complaints. So she had the guts to go to take that on. But I think it's such a shame that a lot of the women on this show, they're young women and they're frightened to complain because it's a career-making thing for them or not. And I just think the BBC have tried to cover. It feels like they've tried to cover this up. They've warned these dancers in the past, and the dancers took notice, and they just gave them shiny new contracts.
Well, the investigations are going on, aren't they, at the moment, so we'll have to wait and see. But like you say, the shine is definitely coming off it, Carole. No doubt about it.
Right.